So let's go into the actors a little bit. The best part of it all to me was Thomas Jane. I think I'll put it out there still. Even though the story was a revenge tale, it was not a Punisher going out against mob families, all that. Thomas Jane is by far the best, and especially with Dirty Laundry. When you
Oh, bro, dude, Dirty Laundry is
Laundry,
so good. I feel like Dirty Laundry is more accurate to Punisher than the actual movie because in the movie, he's like too like he plans everything. I'm like, no, Punisher's more like he'll plan tactically how to like take down something, but like he's not gonna do it in ways like, oh, I'm gonna make you off your wife. I'm gonna make you do this. That's not Punisher. He's gonna take matters in his own hands.
right? Well, like him, he's not even the main actor in it, or one of the big actors in it either. It's also Ron Perlman's in this as well as a
Yeah, dude, Ron Pro, and like they used the Batman from the Dark Knight. They used that for him,
Yeah,
and it's for a short film. It's really good because like it really plays into like the whole moral complexity of Punisher because like in the Punisher Ennis run by Max, it does it in a similar way where like it revolves more around the characters
exactly.
than actually Punisher. Punisher is kind of like that force of nature that comes in and establishes balance. And that's what Dirty Laundry is or at least to me, like that's what it feels like the most accurate. Because technically we never really, like the most accurate Punisher is Daredevil Season 2 Punisher. That is the, like, I do like the show. I'll probably have to go rewatch Season 2 now that Bryce has got me like thinking about it. Because even John Bernthal, I think John Bernthal does a really good Punisher.
He does.
But he does it in a more, he does something that the comics probably will never do, is give him some emotional depth.
I agree with you there.
Because, like, let's be honest, Punisher is not that deep of a character. I am a big fan of him, but he's not that deep. He's not like Daredevil, where you get like the emotional complexity and everything.
Well,
and
it's kind of the same way like you do with Ray Stevenson, right? Ray Stevenson has those moments where, yeah, he's doing what he feels is necessary, but when you find out he offs a undercover cop and he's trying to make right by the family, you see how close he gets with them. And the fact being that he would do anything to protect them because he knows who's going after them. It's the whole thing. Like, I remember the scene where they take the daughter and the wife into like his little bunker to keep them safe at all times. And that didn't work very well, but it's just the point that you see just that how much Punisher misses his family too. And I think a great Punisher can portray that really well, is that even though you have that sympathy and everything, the fact being that you know what has to be done. And I think that's the best part of it. And all three, like, and I won't even put Dolph Lundgren in that conversation. Dolph Lundgren would have been a great Punisher if it wasn't just called Punisher. Like,
well, not just that, but Punisher at that time still hasn't got much development.
Exactly.
And then I think the Punisher show does do a lot of good stuff with Punisher. I mean, I know Daredevil Season 2 is like the best version, but like the Punisher show does, like there's this one scene where like he's like close to like death and his wife is there in the afterlife saying like, just come with me. Mm-hmm. And he pulls away and he says no, or like he doesn't say anything. He says either no or something like that. And right there, I was like, that's Punisher. That's Punisher because like, it reminds me of the Bourne run where it's like, he's going to choose his path of war over his family.
Well, didn't he do that in Thomas Jane's run too? Because as the Punisher, because it was the last scene where he sees the vision.
Oh yeah, we're like, yeah, but no, he.
Well,
and that one it felt more like he was more, he was really in love with her, but like the Punisher in the Netflix or MCU is more to his cause than to his family, if you think about it, because like the show really depicts that, showing that he cares. Like in the shows, I think only in Season 2 where like he picks the girl. No, he lets her go too, right?
No, so because they were trying to make him like romantically involved, but he said no because that's not what he needs right now. His focus is on what he needs to do. The goal
Yeah,
wa-
so he's more dedicated to the war on
exactly.
crime.
The
And Punisher won't settle for something like that.
exactly. That
And I think that's why John Bernthal is such an unique and probably the best depiction. I mean, I love Thomas Jane, I do, but like, if he got his own movie again, that would be cool. But like,
he's older
John
now.
Bernthal really he like that in Daredevil season 2. Like, there was so many great emotional scenes with him. Like, and usually like, it's hard to do like, what's it called? Explanation. What is it called when they explain a certain
Exposition.
exposition? That scene with him and Daredevil just talking in the graveyard. Bro, the first time I watched that next to my friend, and like, we're both guys, so like, I ain't crying.
Well, I think
You
another.
ain't crying.
Well,
Like,
I think you bring up a
Like-
good point too, because when you really think about it, like I do not see Thomas Jane pulling off a John Bernthal scene where he has Daredevil tied up to the pole. I don't see him doing that. John Bernthal sells that scene, and to see how much torture he puts Charlie Cox's character Daredevil or Matt Murdock through, I just don't see somebody like Thomas Jane doing something like that.
yeah, and the Whitaker, and that goes to like another thing that goes to I think to a Daredevil Punisher rivalry, to like where Daredevil is very like, oh, like, we all lost people. Like, what did you lose? Like, if you think about it, as a man, your priority is your family. Punisher lost his family because he couldn't protect them. So that's why he's in that state of mind, like, he couldn't protect his family. And yeah, there is vengeance, but like, he also loves that war on crime, but like, his family's not there anymore. So he lost his only essence to like humanity when his family lost in the show, not to the comics, but like in the show, you could tell like that was his only sense of like humanity, and it was out the window because it's a difference whenever like you lose loved ones out of like in most superhero comics, they lose them. Like in Daredevil, like they lose them when they were young and like it's out of their hands. But like whenever it's kind of like you were supposed to take care of them, like kind of survivor's guilt.
Exactly.
And I think that's why Punisher got real pissed whenever he said that, because his pain isn't Daredevil's pain. That those are two different opposing sides.
Well, here's a good question, and I don't know if this has actually happened, because people think of him as a psychopath. They think of him as, oh, nobody really knows his backstory other than maybe a couple people. No hero understands why the Punisher's doing what he's doing.
Or how it started.
Exactly. Like Captain America doing that, it's like, you don't know his backstory. If you were put in that same position, you'd probably do the same stinking thing.
And then it's a different war with Vietnam compared to World War II.
Exactly. You know, that's what I said. I'm not sure. Like, I think doesn't Daredevil knows his backstory?
Does he?
I don't.
I think so. I think
He's one of the only few that knows.
Daredevil knows. I think Elektra might know.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me after the relationship they have with
And then the one I'm not sure about right now is Spider-Man. But it wouldn't surprise me if Spider-Man knew.
Because it's weird with Daredevil and Punisher, because like Punisher likes Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil doesn't like Punisher.
Exactly.
like it's a funny relationship that they have. I think Bryce would know more about that than me. Right?
Not off
like
the top of my head.
like Chip Zdarsky, like he kind of like cemented it in like his run where Daredevil proved he can do it better than him. But he just doesn't choose to cross the line the way Punisher does. Like, the thing is that with Daredevil being Catholic, in the Christian values is that you can be redeemed. Like, writer, one of the bigger writers in the Bible is Paul, and he was offing Christians, and he's one that wrote most of the New Testament. In Punisher's eyes, that wouldn't fly.
Yeah.
With Daredevil, he believes in redemption, like redemption of the soul and everything. Like,
Well, it says the Bible is, the ultimate redemption story for all of humanity. And so Daredevil believing in the Bible, he almost has, if he didn't believe in redemption, then it would fly in the face of everything that he claims to believe.
Yeah, and Punisher doesn't see it that way. He wants to be the
Judge, jury, and executioner in the process
Yeah.
of it all. Exactly.
and that's where the clash of ideologies are.
Exactly. But Bryce, what is your favorite portrayal of Punisher live action?
I think you guys know the answer.
It's probably John Bernthal.
It is absolutely John Bernthal.
I was going to say Ray Stevenson just to be a prick, but rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. We you know what? You're still a great actor in our eyes. Just to put
I would be more offended that you try to take away my title of resident prick.
Yeah.
What do you say that for?
Oh, because he called me. I called him a prick one time too because he called me old.
Bro, I'm older than him. Don't be calling him old, bro. You're gonna make me feel bad, dude.
Listen,
Just because I got baby face doesn't mean like, bro, if I shave this off, I'll look younger than you.
You've not seen me unhinged on a podcast. Okay, you have, but you won't regularly see it until you're on an episode with me and Mary together.
Can't wait then.
Yeah. Well, he was on one with us already. He was in the jam.
He was on one, yes.
He
but
was tamed though.
Yeah.
Well, heck
He was
no.
tamed.
I got highlights of that. If I can put it, I will link it here, fans. You tell me if he was that way, because the first pick of the draft, you got so mad with me because he chose Jay Garrick Flash, and it messed
That
yours
was me.
and
That was
Roan's
me
picks
being
up.
tame.
That was him being calm.
Yeah.
That was me being tame.
That was
Listen,
he didn't hit
Rose-
Morbin time yet.
It's not Morphin time.
Actually, you know what? I forget about this. Rome's was on TikTok lives with me before when our buddy JJ would go live. I would try to like say as much as I could
I remember.
with like I would ride the line of like, okay, is this gonna get JJ banned? Is this gonna get him?
I remember. Yeah, I was like, we're all like, okay, like, am I gonna lose my band too? Like,
Not me. Listen,
am I gonna get banned too?
I think I made a joke once that it's like I made sure to turn my camera on so TikTok could see I was white and wouldn't ban me.
I remember because the next day I'm like, man, because I was on it, right? I think I was on it.
You might have been.
And I was like, I had to check the next day, like, am I gonna get like a flag or something? I had to check constantly. I was like, am I gonna get a flag? Because like, I was hoping nobody commented or like trying to be a troll, like, oh, Bryce said this. So I'm like, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I was applauding him. Like, there's a difference. I didn't say it.
That's the thing. So yeah, going back to my favorite Punisher rendition and not, glossing over the fact that out of that whole Marvel Netflix universe, the character I resonated with the most was Foggy Nelson.
Yes.
But yeah,
Dude, I relate too much to Matt, like how I used to be. Like,
but yeah, no,
Hey,
that
no,
John
no, sorry.
Bernthal's version of the Punisher, man, it was my first exposure. It's the version of the character that made me fall in love with the character, and to this day, it's hard to watch any of the other ones because it's always going to be compared to Bernthal in my mind.
Agreed. And that's why I said I kind of got more with John Bernthal. Like, I'll admit, I think I watched part of season 2, but I gave up halfway because I was kind of one of them. It's like, I don't care about this now. And I gave up halfway through season 2 of Punisher.
well, because it was canceled.
Yeah.
Like, there was like, it was a lot. Like, everything else got canceled. You knew it was going to be canceled too.
Because
so,
that
like,
was when what was it? That's when the MCU really kind of not really started kicking off, but it was kind of like when
No.
their rights were being bought out for certain things from them. And so they just canceled all the shows and let Disney do whatever they wanted to do with them. Which I'm glad they haven't like said, hey, we're just going to redo it all. They're saying, no, we'll keep it because people love Charlie Cox. People love.
actually they weren't going to keep any of it. Like, they were going to restart it and like, because I was one of those people that donated to like the Save Daredevil
Yeah.
foundation, and
Well, you could donate. I never got to do that.
Yeah, I donated like $30.
I was like spreading the hashtag and everything, but I didn't know you could donate.
Yeah, there was a website, and you go to the website and you donate from there. And then if you wanted to, like, I remember because it showed up on my Facebook like that I donated to save Daredevil.
I love how it didn't even take us 5 years to save Daredevil, but they still haven't been able to save Firefly.
Well, the tax credits are obviously worth more, you know.